Plaintiff Tammy Sherrier is suing her neighbor, Matt Myers, for keying and denting her cars. Tammy believes the defendant acted out because she denied his request for her and her lover to engage in a three-way sex act with him. But Matt says Tammy is only suing because he and Tammy had a sexual relationship, and he's the one who ended it.
Tammy Sherrier is suing Matthew Myers, her neighbor, for car damage. Tammy, tell me why you're here.
To start with, I want to give you a little bit of background on how we met. We moved in to the house next door to him probably about 4 months ago. Mm-hmm. We became friends. I was over there quite often. We got close. Things got a little weird after a while.
How?
Well, he started asking for threesomes.
Who he did?
Yeah, him. Yeah. This is my girlfriend of 8 years, so I guess that's what gave him the thought, maybe.
Not yet. Go ahead.
I have witnesses.
To
seeing him vandalize my vehicles on more than one occasion.
Why would he do that?
I quit talking to him.
So he vandalized your car?
Basically, yes.
Is that true?
No, it's not, Your Honor.
All right, let's see the evidence.
I have many pictures here.
What kind of car did you have?
I have an '02 Chevy Blazer, an '01 Chevy Silverado pickup truck, and I also have a Chevy Corsica stock car.
So you race cars?
I own the car. My girlfriend here races the car.
Okay.
I have
All right, what am I looking at here? Is there damage here? Which car is this? A Blazer?
That's a Chevy Blazer.
Right. And what am I looking at there?
That is key marks down it.
Okay.
What he did was took a key or whatever and did it down both sides of both vehicles, went all the way around.
Okay, what's the story here?
That was a second incident. He kicked the side of the truck.
Did you see him kick it?
The neighbor seen him do that.
Okay. I'm going to ask you for the facts right now, unless you actually saw it yourself.
No,
so
I
what
did
we're
not see him do
talking
that.
about here is a scratch to the Blazer.
Right.
A dent in the pickup
Right.
truck. Oh, and a
You see
key
the key marks?
scratch, or
Yes.
so it appears. Is this a dent again?
Those are the two more dents.
Additional dents?
Yes.
Okay, here's a key.
Key mark all the way down the side.
Somebody took a lot of time. What is this?
That is where it looked like he tried to get up and inside the car. He had 2 packs of cigarettes in the vehicle.
Whose hand is that?
She was taking the pictures.
So
she was just
what is the
showing.
point?
That's where the window is and the molding. It was normally stayed down.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That you're showing that it was loosened from its position
Right.
where it was. Okay, I get it. Okay. Give me a sense of what's going on that you're saying.
Well,
that he
he's
did
standing in my front yard yelling and screaming he's going to bust out the windows on my truck.
Who hears this?
She heard it. He said it to her. My first witness, which was a neighbor,
Let's see it.
and the lady that was taking care of me at the time because I was sleeping.
Let's see. September 18th, I got dropped off at my friend Tammy's house in Springfield. She'd been very sick, and Jamie was working a lot of extra hours. Tammy needed the help with the home with her dogs. That evening, this guy was outside shouting and ranting about busting up the trucks. I didn't know what to think, so I got a little scared and locked the door. I did explain to Tammy and Jamie what I heard as well as my concerns. Later in the night, the same guy was back around again. I had heard all the dogs going crazy. He had something in his hand. As I watched him, he turned back around, then walked past a white car and into the White House next door. I didn't know the situation. The next morning, we found out that everything had been done. I hear Matt, Mr. Myers, yelling at Jamie as she was going into her house. He was yelling, if she did not give him the keys to the Blazer, he was going to blast all the windows out of it if he didn't get his cigarettes out of the Blazer. You smoke?
Yes, I do. No.
Both statements sworn to. Okay, but what precedes this anger? And by the way, the first witness, why didn't she call the cops?
I don't know why she did. I can't speak for her, but I don't know why she didn't call them. But on my behalf, myself, I've called Springfield Police numerous times.
Do you have police reports?
Yes, I do have one. We've even asked them to patrol the roads so we can actually get some sleep because we have to sleep in shifts because they will be outside yelling and screaming and everything else about the vehicles. Both of them.
All right. So, but why would he want to do this? Let's get to the reason why.
I had a relationship with him.
Ah, you did.
Okay. And It just turned weird. I was not going to have a threesome with anybody. I was not going to break my girlfriend's heart of 8 years.
So why'd you have a relationship with him to begin with if you didn't want to break her heart?
It was just a moment, you know what I mean?
No,
It was just, I've never been with a girl before, okay, and saw her. I was always with men. And maybe I thought that was something I wanted. And it wasn't. It got weird, okay? I think he got mad because I wouldn't come back.
Okay.
Okay? He even has text messages that he has sent to her.
Do you have
All
those
right.
messages? Come on up, Jamie.
No, here, Jay,
give
here.
it to the court officer.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. Can you prove that it was me? Because I will sue you if you don't stop.
That was from
Matt.
him.
I get it. You was the one that bothered my life. From Matt. Ask Tammy what I'm talking. From Matt.
That was about a DVD that I
Bad
gave
she
back to
minds
him.
the next few hours. Pimp Mama.
Oh, no, that's
end of him.
that's the end of him.
What do you witness here between the two of them?
The one night that the dogs were all barking, it's unusual there for all the dogs to bark. I got up, looked out the window, and he was running away from my truck.
But isn't he your neighbor?
Yeah,
So he lives next to you.
yeah.
So you see him near the truck. Mm-hmm. What do you say or do?
Nah, I just thought he was coming home from work. I didn't know.
Okay.
At
Does
first.
he usually come home at night in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens after that?
Well, I didn't realize that anything had happened to the trucks till the next morning.
Oh, the
when
next
I got
morning.
up to
What
go
do
to
you
work.
see?
Scratches up and down the trucks.
All right, Sam. Talk to me, Matt.
Your Honor, I just know she's a twisted chicken. I'm just
She's a
trying
twisted
to
what?
twisted chick. It even says it on the front of her vehicle.
Twisted chicken.
Twisted chick.
Chick.
Yes. You know, and I also gave her the best sex she ever had too.
What?
She didn't mind her mention. I've got love letters to prove it too.
Yeah? Let me see them.
Love letters and letters that she left me when she was going home from my place after I went to sleep.
Let me ask you a question, Matt.
Yes.
Why do you think that this is relevant? What is the point of this? If she's back with her, why do you need to hurt her? Huh?
Because
Why do people do this? Why do they play sport with other people's emotions? I don't care if you gave her the best sex of her life. I don't really give a darn. Here's the bottom line. She's not with you. That ought to tell you something.
And I backed off.
Tell me where the fight started.
When I stopped talking to her.
Jamie, Jamie, what do you think? Get up here. What do you think of all this? Did you know that there was a relationship and
Yeah, kind of.
you suspected?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
I mean, we're working through it, yeah.
Okay. Do you think that there is bad blood because Tammy broke up with Matt or because Matt broke up with Tammy? Which is it?
Well, I know Tammy broke up with him.
How do you know that?
Well, before she broke it off with him, she told me about it. And told me she was going over there to do so.
Is that how it happened, Matt?
Yeah. She's coming over to me.
Sit down, Jerry. Sit down. Sit down. The issue is who damaged your vehicle. And the question that I have is, with these police reports, there is no suggestion that it was Matt who did it.
Can I explain the police report?
No, because you didn't write it. You can tell me what
No, I
you
can-
told the cops.
I had been taking him to work for 2.5 weeks, right?
Right.
I had been paying for the gas and everything. Stopped and got cigarettes. He got his own cigarettes. I guess he put them in my glove box. Okay, I lock my trucks no matter what. My truck is locked. That's when they started ranting and raving out there in my front yard. They were going to bust out my windows and mess my trucks up.
All right, so you had your cigarettes in her truck.
Yes.
How are you going to get your cigarettes out of her truck?
I went over and knocked on her door twice. When she didn't answer, I come back to the house. I called her cell phone that she had at the time and left a message that when you wake up, would you please bring me my cigarettes? Well, Jamie come driving in the driveway. So I walked over to her. I says, can you get Tammy's keys so you can get my cigarettes out of her glove box? for me, okay? Well, all of a sudden, I see both of them leave, okay? I call Tammy on her phone. I'm like, where's my cigarettes? You ain't feeling good, but you can't bring me my cigarettes? Well, Jamie threw them in your yard. So I went out to my front yard, and they're squished there.
What?
They were squished, okay? I was mad about it. Yes, I can admit that, okay? Then I called Tammy on her phone, and I says, somebody owes me 2 packs of cigarettes.
And he didn't talk to me since then.
The issue for the court is whether or not the defendant is liable to the plaintiff for property damage. It's very difficult for the court to assess what actually happened here. It is quite possible that the defendant had a motive, that he was angry, that he came home at night, the dogs were barking, and he did some damage to the vehicle. That is quite possible. It's also quite possible that someone else did the damage. But I'm not hearing any evidence that suggests that anyone else had any motive or that anyone else in the neighborhood had any damage. So when you have a combination of bad blood, a request for the cigarettes, and the key for this court that gets me to a preponderance of the evidence is that the window was broken in the area where the cigarettes might have been. That, to me, is sufficient evidence, along with the bad blood, to make a finding for the plaintiff. If this were a criminal case, he would have been found not guilty. But the burden of proof here is far less. I've got motives, means, and opportunity. I've got witnesses. I've got bad blood. All right? You ought to learn your lesson. Okay? Now, your damages are for the vehicle repairs, if you handed them up to me.
It's for both vehicle repairs, it's over $10,000, which is over the limit.
Let me see your receipts.
Okay, I have everything right here because he even
$10,000, you can buy a new truck.
Exactly.
Just find someone who could paint the truck.
Well, it was 2 vehicles, Your Honor.
I know. Take the dent out of the other one. Damages $4,600 for the plaintiff. So be it.
Thank you.
Yep.